don't you write me? Why don't you write me? Wah, wah, wah. That song's been stuck in my head since I did the the Simon and Garfunkel one. But that's not what it's about today. It's about the Beach Boys, about Pet Sounds. It's finally here. I've been saying it, I've been pushing it, and it's here now. I mean, I've only done 2 videos, and that was pretty much over the last 2 or 3 days. But since I came up with this idea to do tier lists, I've wanted to do Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds was the first one I got these pictures for. So bit background on that. I came up with the idea on the train. I was going to Hull to see some friends, and I was a bit hungover, and I came up with the idea. I thought it'd be cool to like tier list stuff, and I put all these pictures together. So do excuse me if some of these are actually trash pictures, because I was drunk and I was on train and I was hot and I was sweaty, and just give me a break. Cool, but yeah, I've been to the shop. I've got some of those sweet Lucozades in, and we're just gonna give this a good go. I was in the shop, right, and there's a fridge right to the right of the front door when you go in, and in there's loads of energy drinks, like Monsters and stuff. And man, it took a bit of self-restraint to step away from those Monsters, because I used to have a bit of a thing for them when I was doing my third album. I was doing my album in uni, and I sort of went a bit nocturnal. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I went a bit nocturnal, and because I could book out the studio at night and no one else would be there, and I could sort of like 8-9 hour run at things. So I sort of changed my sleeping pattern around and started going in, and I'd buy 4 Monsters from the shop and drink them all when I was recording. And it'd gotten to the point I'd been doing it for like a month and a half, and I must have physically looked broken, because my friends were like, you need to calm down, we're a bit worried for your health. So I kicked it in the end, and I showed some self-restraint today to not buy one. But I'm gonna have some pretty ferocious kidney stones when I turn about 40. All right. Let's not talk about my kidney stones. Let's talk about the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. So, a lot to unpack here. It's really good, isn't it? It's just a really good album. It's like a move away from what had they done in the past. Previous to this, I think I don't actually know exactly, but they were still doing like surfer music at this point, and then I think Brian Wilson had listened to. There was a few influences towards it, and Rubber Soul was by the Beatles. He listened to it and thought, man, there's like no fillers on this. They're all just good songs. I mean, well, I'll be the adjudicator on that one when I do my list for it. See if there are actually any fillers, and I'll have a final word. But Brian Wilson was thinking, there's no fillers on this. I want to do an album where every song is it has a point, and it's all building towards this one big concept sort of thing. That's why they call this album Concept Album. I think Brian Wilson agrees thematically that it's a concept album, and instrumentally, because they do use the wall of sound production style in this, which we'll talk about that a bit more later. It's really smart. It was Rubber Soul, and I think Sail Away by Randy Newman was also a big influence, and you can certainly hear it in the way that the instrumentals are, and with the brass and strings and stuff like that. So it's great. What was I going to look up? The Beach Boys albums in order. So yeah, this is what I mean. You've got Summer, whatever that is, Summer Days and Summer Nights, and then I kissed her. Help me, Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. It's still very much. What's the word? It's like a commercial, like a commodity. This kind of still amusement parks in the USA. It's commodity music to an extent. It's just a bit of fun, and it's very catchy. You have Beach Boys Party, which I never really liked anyway. They're sort of pretending to be at a party and they're playing their instruments as if they're just the band at the party. And it's cool, but I never thought it was particularly great. Hully Gully, you know what I mean? It's Hully Gully, songs like that. You go off the back to Hully Gully onto this album that's got, God Only Knows, Wouldn't It Be Nice, Let's Go Away, Don't Talk, Put Your Head on Your Shoulder, Put Your Head on My Shoulder, sorry. And it's such a big jump from, it's kind of like if the Beatles had gone from Hard Day's Night straight into Sergeant Pepper. It's a bit of a jump. Whereas this is kind of what Brian Wilson's done here. He's jumped from this kind of commodity stuff into something that's kind of, in some ways deeply profound in some of the lyrics and some of the themes, very centered around love and stuff like that. And mind you, he's only 23 at this point, Brian Wilson. He's a 23-year-old man. He's got such a good grasp on the themes that he's trying to talk about and the stories that he's trying to tell. We're talking too much, not about the songs. So let's start talking about the songs. So first one, wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long. Yeah, it's such a good umper, isn't it? It's a really good start, and you can tell straight away with the instrument that comes in, like it's some weird, like bell thing. Do 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 do. No, it's guitars, and it's guitars, but it's the wall of sound thing where they've put. Well, let's go over the wall of sound now and just get it out of the way so you can understand when I say later, oh, it's the wall of sound, you'll know what I mean. The wall of sound production idea is that you layer these instruments on top of each other in such a way that they then become the single instruments that you're using become indistinguishable from each other, and it creates a new instrument or a new sound. And they do it a lot through this album. It's Phil Spector's idea, and he was doing it. I think the story goes is that he wanted to create a sound, this sonic feel to a song, where even if the song wasn't that good, it would be carried by the production quality. And obviously, they've used it here alongside good songs also, so it's really good. And this is why I'm going to have Wikipedia and Google open throughout this whole video, because some of the songs sound so similar, and it's only because of the production quality. They're all very distinguishable, different, unique songs, but because of the production quality makes them all sound very similar. There are going to be some songs here where I'm going to be like, don't remember how that goes, and I won't be able to do my amazing singing beforehand until I go and look at the lyrics. But yeah, that's what the wall of sound is. You sit there, you put together a bass, a saxophone, a flute, and then hitting a jug with hitting like a water jug with a pen, and then you meld that all together. You produce that as one little piece of music and see what it sounds like, and sort of drop and put your levels around and mess with the EQs, and then you create a new instrument. That's what the wall of sound is. It's awesome. It's a really cool idea. Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long. It's really nice lyrics, isn't it? So it's like the idea is that he's with this girl, and they're sort of like dreaming about a future together and what it'll be like when they've got all their stuff together, and when they've got away from where they are, they've got the jobs they want, they're starting to build whatever family and stuff, and it's just a nice, good love song to open up the album. And there's a guy called Tony Asher, which I'm gonna have to speak about, because I think a lot of people consider this as like just a Brian Wilson project. He himself considers it. I was the one really just doing everything. But there was a guy called Tony Asher who played a pretty big part in it. He was a copywriter or a lyricist in his own right, based in LA when Brian Wilson moved there to do it. And they just started getting chatting, and Brian Wilson wanted to collaborate in some way with him. And from what I've read, Tony Asher's part was not that he would sit there and write lyrics with Brian, is that Brian would write what he wanted to write and put out his ideas. And Tony Asher would kind of work as, what would you call it? He kind of took the lyrics and moved them around in a different way to maybe make them more mature, rather than like an interpreter is the word I'm looking sort of for. So Brian Wilson was telling him and showing him what he wanted to say, and Tony Asher was kind of messing with the words a bit just to interpret it a little bit differently and give it a bit more weight. And I think you can see how that would work, because off the back of those albums we were talking about before with Hully Gully and Help Me Rhonda and stuff, that Brian Wilson is still kind of in his infancy as a songwriter, and he's writing catchy stuff, but nothing with real weight. And to bring this Tony Asher guy in, and who can take his lyrics and go, I can make this a bit more mature and a little bit more, add more weight to it, and I think it probably understated how much Asher had to do with how it came out. Um, I couldn't find a lot on it. I put Tony Asher to Wikipedia. He didn't have a picture, and that's a bad sign when someone doesn't have a picture on on Wikipedia. But yeah, this song's great, and that's why I just sort of thought I'd bring Tony Asher into this, just because you never know how much he put to it. The thing I love about the lyrics on this album, especially in some songs, is that it's kind of almost childlike, but about very serious and emotive themes. So it's almost like a kind of melancholy thing. It's really nice. It's really nice. And there's a really good bit in it. I don't see this where I'm gonna have to get the lyrics up. What's that really nice bit? But maybe if we think and wish and hope, maybe it might come true. Rum, rum, rum. Or we could be merry and we could be happy. Or wouldn't it be nice? It's just like speaking to his girl and saying, it'll be nice when we got all this together. It's going to be really good. Nice positive one. There are some pessimistic love songs on this, but this is one of the most positive ones, and it fits. It fits at the start of the album. This album moves away from their more commodity music, and this one's kind of like the transition. This is this happy fun song to start the album. Then we're gonna get into some serious themes after this, so it's cool. I like Wouldn't It Be Nice? I think it's great. Okay. You Still Believe in Me. I see. This is what I mean. Now, this is a heavy theme. I think I used. Oh man, give me a break. These pictures are so stupid. You Believe in Me, because it has bicycle sounds in it, bicycle horn at the end. That's funny. The concept is really cool. So the idea of this song is that the guy singing it is, or it's about the guy who's constantly failing for his partner. So I think he's a cheat, and he's doing her wrong, and he doesn't treat her very well. And the lyrics are so nice. Do you still believe in me, or still believe in me? You still believe in me. Yeah, well, that's not the lyrics, is it? That's Wouldn't It Be Nice lyrics. Yeah, so like, I know perfectly well I'm not where I should be. Like, already, well, you don't really know what the song's about yet, but that's such a good line to start. I think everyone's felt like that at one point in their life. I know perfectly well that's not where I should be. So as an opener, you go, I'm already invested in this. He's got something to say about something I know about. It's really cool. I've been very aware that you're patient with me. Every time we break up, you bring back your love to me. And after all I've done to you, how can it be? And then all the vocals come in. Still believe in me. And you've got like the bicycle ring and the bicycle horn. And so you sort of bring in these little weird things into it, these weird instruments that you wouldn't find on a pop album. It's why it's considered such a groundbreaking album. And then the timps on the second bit. Try you want me to be. It's fantastic, isn't it? But yeah, the idea really is that although this guy is failing his girlfriend, and after all I've promised you so faithfully, you still believe in me. And it kind of makes you, it's so weird, it makes you feel for that character, even though he is the bad person in this story. He's the one that's doing everything wrong. But Brian Wilson, the way that he's written it and the way that he sings it, it makes you feel sad for him. And you're on his side. And you're like, man, I just wish this guy could control his urges. And I wish he could be a better person. Because that's all he wants. So it's just really great play with your emotions. Listen to it. When it gets to the outro, I wanna cry. It's just like really emotional, and you got the timps come in again. The timpanis, sorry, is what you call them. When I was in uni, we had the lecture, and about 40 of us in the room, and we were trying to pick out these instruments. The lecturer had played this song, and he said, "I'll pick out what instruments are in there, and we'll talk about it." I put my hand up, and I said, "Timpanis." And it's obviously not the way to say it. It's timpanis. And everyone kind of did like a muffled laugh. And he was like, "Oh, you mean timpanis, I'm sure." And I was like, "Oh, yes. Please let me excuse myself for the rest of my life and never return to this room." Oh, man, I love all the first lectures. What a way to get underway. I want to cry. Yeah, so we're all in on the singing today. This is going to be... you've had to deal with a bit of singing on the other two, but there's a lot of falsetto here. Brian Wilson's known for his falsetto, and as am I. My falsetto is superb, so I'll keep going with that. But a little bicycle Hawley hand that always makes me feel laugh. I almost want to put it in slaps, just because it holds so much weight to it. It's such a good song, so well written. I'll leave it there for now. As we do at the end of every video, I'll do my synopsis and we'll think about it. But it's really, really nice song, and you get in the feel for the album now. You go, man, this is not these hollow attempts at love and lust for girls that you found on the old Surfer albums. It's not about cars or money or things. This is a grounded piece of art, and it's about real things, and that's it's Brian Wilson's transition. He's had this. The story goes that he had some LSD and had a full-on ego death, and you can feel in the song that he's thinking differently now, and he's writing differently now, and it's great. It just feels great. That's not me. That's not me. See, yeah, that's what I was talking about. See, I don't know the lyrics. That's not me lyrics. That's not me. That's Not Me by Skepta. What you mean? Front to back, left to right, wagwan. This is what I mean, man. You're talking about the modern music. I actually can't do this. Talking about modern music. On the last video, we were talking about how it's kind of like the film music and have to steal old ideas. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is this absolutely awful nonsense that I'm reading here. What you mean? Front to back, left to right, wagwan. One line flows. Yeah, I got some of those. Easy work, let's go, I go in. What are you talking about? Nah, that's not me. Act like a waste man. That's not me. Sexy any girl, that's not me. Lips any girl, that's not me. Yeah, I used to wear Gucci. Used to. Now I wear Sergio Tacchini. Put it all in the bin because that's not me. Oh wow, he's making a transition. He's not about all that anymore. He's about other things. Yellow gold chains and diamonds are black. Jack me. Just out of interest, I'm gonna see how many views that has on on YouTube. I turn the volume down so I don't get the video taken down here. But that's not me. Alright, just a nice 18,177,137 views. Well, 138 now that I'm in there. Oh, and how many does the Beach Boys, That's Not Me, have? Not even 1 million. Oh, it's upsetting, isn't it? It is very upsetting. Okay, so we'll go with the Beach Boys. That's not me. That's not me. I'm sure Skepta in his own right, in his own world, is good. And is talented to some extent. I just don't get it. I had to prove that I could make it alone now, but that's not me. In the eyes of the world. It's what I was talking about with the like childish lyrics, but with quite serious themes. That I could make it alone now. I'm a little bit scared, but I haven't been home in a long time. it's just like cute, isn't it? It's like cute little lyrics. Yeah, I don't know what much more I had to say about this song. Really, it wasn't one of the better ones for me. I mean, the tambourine. I wrote the tambourine's really good. I remember it's just got this weird like. What's hard to do with a tambourine is make something original with it because it's such a static instrument. With a drum kit, you've got a lot of options and you can mess around with different bits. But with a tambourine, you've really just got the one sound, and it's just where you can hit it and how you can hit it, and if you can shake it as well. And man, that sounds like a Skepta song. You know how you can hit it, where you can hit it, shake it up, baby. I don't know whether that's what he sounds like. I think it's. I don't think it's like that. But yeah, I mean, the tambourine line's really good on it. As far as I remember, it was like ch 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 ch, and it's like changes. It moves around with the actual song as it goes, rather than being static all the way through, which I thought was quite cool. And yeah, he's just a really good singer, isn't he? On this album, just on all albums, I suppose. But I once had a dream, so I packed up and split for the city. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, really nice song. I do like it. Where does it go though? That's the question. Sorry, I'm popping around the internet so much on this video. I need to slow down. That's not me. I don't know which. It's the two benders, Bender and Flexo. I'm gonna put it in filler for now. I don't know. It doesn't carry the same weight as some of these other songs on the album. I don't think. I mean, what's it about? Let's think about what it's about. It's like the lyrics are, it's like regret over a relationship that's broken up, and he's trying to go do it alone and see if he can do it. And yeah, when you do break up with a girl initially, even if you think it's the right thing to do, if you think it's the wrong thing to do, whatever it is, you are gonna have a little bit of time, a couple of months worth of time where you're kind of feeling regretful and you're having to figure out these things again. How to be alone. Because, especially if you've been in a serious relationship and you spend so much time with someone and you sort of become a team like that, it can be hard to pull away from it and suddenly be living a completely different life. So I can see why, it's a great song and it's really well written. Some of the instrumentals on the album are better than this, and some of the lyrics are better than this. I think that's it. But again, it's Brian Wilson speaking from the heart again and doing another great song. I want to put it in banger. I'll leave it in filler for now. We'll think about it. We will think about it. Don't Talk, Put Your Head on My Shoulder though is fantastic. Slaps even territory. Like, wow. So what's this song about? It's about a moment that you can't put words to, and Brian Wilson's put words to it, and it works really well. So the idea is that although you can, something going on, it's either a sad moment, a happy moment, whatever it is, you sat with the girl you love, and instead of talking, instead of discussing anything, they just have this delicate, beautiful moment where just put your head on my shoulder, we'll just be silent for a minute and we'll just be in this moment. And it's so poignant, it's so, you can only be dragged into that moment when you listen to the song. The instrumental to it's so good as well. Don't talk, put your head on my shoulder. Come close, close your eyes and be still. Listen to your heartbeat. Listen. And the strings come in. So nice. My writing is so bad. I'm looking at this. I've written some stuff down. My handwriting has always been bad. I can't even read it myself. Yeah, it's just a really nice song again. It's about like a moment that can't be really explained. And he doesn't explain it in this song. It's a song about that moment. The instrumental fits absolutely perfectly, and the timpanis, timpanis. I'm calling them the timpanis in this song, right? In this album, sorry, are just so well chosen. Their moments are so good. They just bring that energy that's needed, or they bring that that movement into bits when it's needed. And he just uses it really well. They use the timpanis really well. I'm talking a lot about Brian Wilson as if it's his thing. And like I said before, it was kind of considered his. But, I'm sure that Mike Love and Al Jardine, and I don't know if I've said that right, Al Jardine, and, the other Wilsons and stuff, all had their parts. But it just feels more like a Brian Wilson, diary, expression of his deepest feelings and stuff. It really is a Brian Wilson thing for me. So I will continue throughout this video, just call it Brian Wilson and just speak about Brian Wilson. Amazing songwriter. Just a really good instrumental in this. Really good idea for a song. Talking about Song for the Asking the other day. It's really clever. You have some musicians come out with some really clever things sometimes, and you go, wow, that is a very unique idea. No one else I've ever heard has wrote a song about this, or about a moment like this, as well as he has done. So I love this song. I put it in slaps. Again, probably a little bit biased because it's one of my favourite songs on the album. But when we reconfigure it later, it might go down maybe. But I think we were saying about slaps and banger, and slaps means album defining. Is this song not album defining? Is it not one of the more poignant and more evoking songs on the album? I think it is. I think it's great. But saying about the Timps were. I think when I was listening to this album, I listened to it this morning before I went to get these Lucozades, and just reminded me a lot of right. The way that was going to sound was going to be ridiculous. I was going to say it reminds me a lot of my second album. It doesn't remind me of my second album. I'm not saying it in any way that that I'm as good or anything, but the way that he uses the timpanis, and it must have been around the time I was listening to this and writing my album, because I put loads of timp stuff in my second album, and I'll link it below. Shameless plug-in, I know, but I'll link it below, or one or two of the songs that have timpanis in it or something, because I use timpanis so much. They're not real ones. Like, I had a little dodgy keyboard that I bought off my mate for £100, and it had all the instruments on it. It had strings and brass and timpanis. And I must have been listening to this album a lot back then, because I used timpanis a lot on my second album in the same kind of way that they do. It's just like a transitioning thing that helps move the song into different parts. But I love this song. I love this song. I think it's great. The singing's great as well. I'm waiting for the day that you can love again. It's this guy. This guy is really angry. Yeah, it's better than that. I'll put it in slaps. Okay. I'm waiting for the day. Now, this is one that I really want to look at the lyrics for, because I think it's well good. Waiting for the day. Again, it's a proper simple idea lyrically. I am sorry that I am focusing mainly on the lyrics in this album, but I think it's the main pull for me. And this is what you think about albums and what they've got to them. Some albums will have their main point to pull you in. This has so many different things. It has such lyrical prowess. The instrumentation is fantastic. The production is fantastic. The vocals are fantastic. There's just so much about it that's just great. But yeah, break these lyrics down. It's just really nice. So the song's about he's got with this new girl who's obviously had a bit of a fractured last relationship, and it's changed her in some way, and she's struggling to trust again and struggling to let him in. I'm sure people have been through stuff like that. I've kind of had a similar thing with a girl before. It can be quite taxing. And he's telling this girl, no matter how long it takes, we'll get through it and we'll make it work. And I'm here. And just the way it all comes together. I came along when he broke your heart. That's when you needed someone to help forget about him. Ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. I gave you love. And it's just really nice. And then he brings it down after that second bit. I keep pointing at the screen as if you can see it. I'm sorry. But when it comes down to set your broken heart free, all the instrumental kind of starts to, it falls away briefly. And you've got this nice quiet part. And it works really well. So he's not only taking it down, with the instruments and made the point with the instruments to go, this is a quiet part now. The lyrics thematically work with what he's done with the instruments. I know you cried and you felt blue, but when I could, I gave strength to you. And it's just lovely. And then they take it from being, this had quite a bit of energy. It brings it down to a little less energy, but maybe a bit more poignant. When you can love again, and the drums come in, and then he sings it in a much more powerful. I kissed your lips when your face looked sad. It made me think about him, and that you still loved him so. Like, you just got this big energy coming in. See, I'm getting excited now. This is the point. This is what music's supposed to be for. I'm getting a bit deep here, but this is because I'm feeling the energy in myself singing this, and I'm feeling excited. This song excites me, and that's what it's there for. This is what music's about. It's supposed to excite. It's supposed to make you feel something, feel emotions, and energy and movement. And I just get so excited by this song. I might even put it at the top because I just think it's so good. Just that line is so it's like profound, isn't it? Just imagine being in that situation. I kissed your lips when your face looked sad, and it made me think about him and that he still loved you so, and that you still loved him so. Sorry, but that pretty soon I'll make you feel glad that you belong to me, and love began to show. And that's a very much in the now moment. I'm upset that I'm trying to make you turn around, and I've still got my doubts about it. But this one's, but looking forward, I can't wait. I'm waiting for the day that you can, I can't wait to be with you properly. And when you are fully with me and can actually love me, it's really good. He hurt you then, but that's all gone. I guess I'm saying you're the only one. So beautiful. I could talk about this song all day, but we're already a half an hour in, and I'm not even halfway through the album yet. I'm going to put I'm Waiting for the Day at the top because I love it so much. I think it's an amazing song. Probably my favourite song on the album. That you can love again, and the strings at the end, and it goes a little bit dark, and then you've got the movement up again, do, and that's the last lyrics, aren't they? You didn't think, do you like to sit around and let him work? Well, you didn't think, you can sit around and watch him take you. No, you didn't think. It's a really cool song. It's just like got everything you need for a love song, and it's got so many different elements and parts to it. Really good. I love that song. Oh man, I've got so excited now. Let's Go Away. Let's Go Away. Alright, I don't really have much to say about it. The thing is, there's two instrumentals on this album. There's this one and Pet Sounds, which I read the other day. It's a little fun fact. It was originally called Run James Run because they were considering trying to sell it to the James Bond franchise and see if they wanted to use it in any way. But this one, Let's Go Away, I don't know. It's just like, at this point now, I'm so invested in the lyrics. Like, I'm listening to the album and I'm going, man, this is so lyrically like going somewhere. There's so much theming going on. And then off the back of what is my favourite song on the album, you just got this little callback to the surfing stuff. You know, it's a nice instrumental. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's good. But I don't know whether it was just an instrumental that was put together with lyrics in mind, and it just never really came together. So they go, "Oh, well, it's still put on the album," or what, or whether it was supposed to be, "Oh, let's do a callback to the Surface stuff," you know, but kind of do it in this new way that we're messing around with. But it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't think it holds up. I certainly won't put it in trash because it's not a bad song. But yeah, I just, for me, it comes off the back of this really, really great song that's got so much weight to it, and it just kind of slows the whole thing down for me. So yeah, you know, I'm too invested in the story at this point. I'm too invested in what's going on in Brian Wilson's head and in these stories about love and stuff like that. So, and again, this next one, although I'm going to put it quite high, Sloop John B is really good. Okay, so Sloop John B's here, which means that this is going to drop down because I think Sloop John B's really good and better than Put Your Head on My Shoulder. So this is kind of also a step away, but as a song in its own right, it's really good. It's a step away from what's been happening in the album, these prophetic love songs. Sloop John B, I always thought was an original Beach Boys song. I didn't realise it was a cover. And I thought, oh right, that's smart. So I looked up the cover, and I can't find the original. It's like a classic Caribbean folk song. But I tried to find the most sort of sincere rendition of what it would be when it was written, and I listened to I think it was the Kingston Trio, and it's so different to what this is. I mean, it was like, let me go home, I want you, let me go home, let me go home. And I just thought that's really smart. You know, Brian Wilson's come upon this song and thought, I want to do that. I want to do that in our like style, and it works really well. The vocals in it are so good. Let's get the lyrics up for that one. When the vocals come in, it's really cool. When the vocals come in, Sloop John B. Sloop John B, I think it's about a boat, isn't it? About being on this boat called the Sloop John B. Beach Boys. So hoist up, when all the backing vocals come in, so hoist up the John B sail. And it's like, you know, it's almost transcendent of, you know, not only are they singing the song, but it feels like they're actually on the ship and they're all singing it together. Like, you know, it's this like one of those like pirate songs where everyone just sits and sings it and gets on with their work and stuff. See how the mainsail sets, call for the captain ashore. It's really fun. I really like it. So it's definitely in slaps. Again, it's album defining in its own way. It's just the sound of it and the movement of it and how much energy it's got. It's so Pet Sounds. Although it is, you know, a step away from what the theming of the album is in general with the lyrics. But yeah, this is probably the most vocally sort of clear song. It's so well put together vocally, and the way these drop down and drop up the instrumentals so well. So there was a point I was listening to it. The first mate he got drunk, and it drops down. I think it's this part. The poor cook, he got the fits. Oh, no, it isn't. It's, they drop all the instruments out. This is the worst trip I've ever been on. And then they do this little build up. So hoister. And it's just, again, he's moving around this loud and quiet dynamic, which I think a lot of people accredit that style to sort of the 90s grunge and 90s rock movement that was happening with the Pixies and Nirvana and people like that, where it's just very dynamically moving around with the music from loud to quiet and back up to loud again and stuff. But, you know, Paul Wilson, Brian Wilson's doing this in the 60s, you know, he's doing it way ahead of anyone else. Maybe in a different way, maybe not as prolifically as some of those bands. I mean, when you listen to some Nirvana songs, you know, we've got this absolutely ragging guitar riffs with drums, dead heavy drums, and it just falls back into like an acoustic bit with some quiet singing. You know, I can't think of a song in particular, but there's loads of them that do that, and Pixies too. But you know, Brian Wilson's doing kind of a similar thing here, but like, you know, in the '60s, it's smart. Not to say that he created it, but it's something that he was doing also. What are we on? God only knows. Yeah. God only knows what these pictures, man. I mean, I know this song is about God being sad. It has to be at the top, doesn't it? Because it's the best song on the album, and it's like considered the best Beach Boys song, or one of the best Beach Boys songs. Probably one of the best Brian Wilson songs. I'd probably put it alongside maybe like what's it called? Love and Mercy, gun diddling tonight. Considering it's one of my like favourites, I don't even know the lyrics, but it's great, isn't it? God only knows. Just like a love letter, isn't it? I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need you doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. Diddle-oo. God only knows what I'd be with. I love the vocals. I wish I could play the song because I am going to struggle singing all these different vocals at the same time. But at the end where it's got that like God only knows. Wow, shocking. God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows without you. And he's got all these little bits coming in that all overlapping each other, and it's like, I don't know, I suppose there might be a meaning to that, you know. It's like he's saying it as many times as he can in so many different ways, or so many different ways that he loves this girl, and he's saying it in all these different... It's just a lovely song, isn't it? The instrumental's great, and it just stands out, and it is album defining for sure. Really good. I don't have enough good things to say about it. And again, you're thinking, we're talking about Tony Asher before. This is one of the best love songs written. We did Beatles, Abbey Road earlier in the week. We did Something as one of the best love songs the Beatles wrote. It's one of the best songs the Beach Boys wrote, and them two wrote very similar in the way that they're kind of like you know, they are love letters, and they are professions of love, and it's just really good. It's just a really good song, and it is the best song on the album. People would kick off at me if I didn't put that as the top song on the album for sure. So, I mean, we all know the song. There's not much more I can say about it because we all know what it sounds like. We all know how good it is. So there's no point me harping on. I know there's an answer. Time for answers. It's a banger. I think it's above. Yeah, I don't like this. I did this with Frank Lloyd Wright on the Simon and Garfunkel, the Dastardly and Muttley video. And, you know, I had Frank Lloyd Wright up here, and then slowly you just kind of drop down the pecking order. I feel like I'm doing a disservice to put your head on my shoulder by knocking it down so many times. But, you know, it's just the way it works, isn't it? Time for answers. It's not what it's called. I know there's an answer. Weirdly, I prefer, so there's on the full version of this album, the extended version, you get different versions of these songs. So the original one was actually called Hang On To Your Ego. Which is, the song is generally, as far as I'm aware, it's about this guy pessimistically going around looking at other people's lives and saying that you could be living better, or you're not living your best, living your best life, and yeah, he just doesn't know a way to say it. So the song is, you know, I know there's an answer, I know there's a way that I can tell these people, but I've got to figure it out. But yeah, I preferred the Hang On To Your Ego. I don't know, it's just sticks better, but it's still a banger. Let's get the lyrics up. Get the lyrics up for this one. I know there's an answer. Why have you done it like that? That's so weird. I know I'm doing very sad. They isolate their heads and stay in the safety zones. Now what can you tell them? Oh, make them defensive. I love this little bit of writing here. But they trip through the day and waste all their thoughts at night. It's funny, isn't it? I think it is about kind of like drugs as well, isn't it? It is about, that's not just wordplay. That's the people that he's actually considering are kind of maybe addicted to drugs in some manner, and he's saying, you're not even using that to your advantage. You're just wasting your days away. And not gonna lie, I have friends like that back in my hometown. That, I mean, come on, we were smoking weed when we were 15, 16, and it's one of those, you kind of get it out of the way, get it out of your system, and you have a bit of a laugh with it, and then it's probably time to grow up after that. But a lot of people that I still know back in real life have become dealers, or are taking cocaine or MD every weekend, and it's a bit much, isn't it? Really, I think there's a point where it doesn't become fun anymore, and it's no longer very cool or very like fun. You're just kind of ruining yourself. I go back home sometimes, and some of these guys are so what's the word? I don't want to be mean, because these are people I still consider to be friends, although I don't see them that often, but just a bit docile, really, because they kind of just fried their brain cells a bit too much. There's a point you need to kind of stop. And I suppose this is why this song really appeals to me in a way, because I agree with it. There's some of these people I want to go and say, yeah, you've been smoking weed for like 15, 16 years now, every day. Do you not think it's getting a bit boring now? I'm not on my high horse. I'll occasionally, smoke the what's it called? The devil's whatever. The devil's nectar is the drink. I can't remember what weed is, but I'll occasionally have a smoke. I'm a bit drunk or something, but I don't make a habit of it, and I'm not addicted to it and smoke it every day, because I think it just ruins you. And further down the line, you are going to have mental issues, I think, and that's just the way it is. But I agree with the song in a way. If that's what it is about, I do want to tell them sometimes, like, come on, just get your head out your arse and stop wasting it, because you are wasting your time. With drugs in particular, like, the reason I always thought the reason to do stuff like that would be to get your creative juices flowing and think outside the box and just open your mind a bit. And if you're only just doing it to feel normal, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? That is an issue. But that's all I can say about that. I can't go on about that, because I don't know how they feel about it, and it would be wrong for me to make assumptions. And, I'm not saying that people that smoke weed every day, have problems. I don't think that's exactly what I'm trying to say. But I'm just saying, it becomes an issue, doesn't it? I think if you're not doing it to get any benefit, it's not quite worth it anymore, is it? But wow, that's a bit of a sidestep. But yeah, this song's great, isn't it? I know there's an answer. Verse 2, Mike. So, this was something I was considering before. Is that I thought Brian Wilson sang all these songs, but it says here that Mike Love and Al Jardine are singing the songs, and Brian Wilson singing the chorus. And I really couldn't have thought, I wouldn't have figured that out on my own, because they sound so similar. But I'll have to listen to that again and actually differentiate their voices. I mean, with the Beatles, who's singing what. You can really tell usually. But with these, I just always assume that Brian Wilson's singing it. So yeah, that's pretty funny. But I like the song. Yeah, I think all the drug stuff we just spoke about is kind of relevant to it. He's just trying to tell people to try and live better, and that they're wasting their time, and some people do, and that you can't really get through to them. It's a good song. It's a good song. I like it. Sometimes I feel very sad. Is that the next one? Here Today? No. These Times. Can't wait for These Times is that one. So Here Today. I couldn't find a picture for that one. I didn't know how to illustrate that at all. Here Today, again, I can't remember what the lyrics are like in that one. Here Today lyrics. So I was originally just gonna. Oh right, Paul McCartney does one as well. Beach Boy lyrics. Oh yeah, I know this one. But yeah, the idea was, the reason I put this off for so long is because I knew that I wasn't going to remember all the lyrics off the bat. So when I was doing the sort of listening to the album this morning, I thought, well, I could listen to it a few times and try and memorize all the lines, so I don't have to jump around so much on this. But I don't know. I probably would have. I've got a bad memory anyway, so I don't know how that would have gone. But you know, if you don't mind me jumping around the internet and pulling these lyrics, I mean, we're having a good time, sort of just looking at them and sort of highlighting the bits that we like and that we want to talk about. So I don't think it's that bad. It starts with just a little glance now, right? Temps, boom, right away. You're thinking about romance now. I like it. I think it's cool. The idea is that all lyrics. I mean, we really should have spoke more about the instrumentation in this, and I think when we do the synopsis at the end, we'll probably talk a bit more about the instrumentation on the album because it is fantastic. Right away, you're thinking about romance now. It makes you feel so sad. It makes your heart feel bad. It makes your days go wrong. And I love the way it goes into this. Makes your love go along. You got to keep your mind. Boom, and you got the brass comes in. Boom, 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 boom. And tomorrow it's gone. Boom, 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 boom. Got real good. I always say it, but energy. It's got great energy. But it's a cool song, isn't it? I mean, what else have did I write about it? I think I covered this before, but I did write in the notes here that it's a step away from the sort of hollow sentiments of. I think I already said this, I'm sure, but the hollow sentiments of love and lust for girls, and they've moved. Yeah, I did say this before, but you know, it's just really interesting. I love that Brian Wilson and the gang have sort of jumped from being these surfer boys that just want to drive fast cars and have pretty women and money and commodities. And they're now singing these really good songs. This song is about warning someone about your ex. I think it is. He's telling this guy, "Hey, I know you're with that girl now, or you've been dating my ex girlfriend. I'll just let you know now, she's not who you think she is." Whether that's him, he's doing that out of spite because he's not with her. Right now you think that she's perfection. This time it's really an exception. That's funny, isn't it? And a bit of bravado here. Well, I hate to be a downer, but I'm just the guy. I'm the guy you left before you found her. It's cool, isn't it? I guess, but whether he's doing it out of spite or whether he really means it, you can't go around telling people your ex is a psycho, basically, because it's not fair. There's always two sides to a story. And I never do such a thing. I try and keep it. If I've ever gone through breakups, I try and keep it light and just be like, it just wasn't meant to be. But he's actively going around going, yeah, that girl was a psycho bitch, man. Don't go with her, weirdo. So it's quite funny. It's quite a fun song. And again, the instrumentation is really great, and the way it moves. I just love the brass. I love heavy brass. I can't get enough of it. And the way it just underpins that bam, 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 and today and it's gone, bam, 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 bam. Really cool. These Times is really good. They got a picture of the Flintstones. Get the lyrics. I just wasn't made for these times. What in the world? Made for these times. This one's about alienation, isn't it? It's kind of like not feeling your place in the world and feeling a bit, out of it all and not quite fitting in. I think it's great. It's probably... I don't know, because I think this is better. Let's go through the lyrics. I keep looking for a place to fit where I can speak my mind. Um, each time things start to... Wait, how's that line go? Oh, each time things start to happen again, but it goes wrong. I can't remember the line to it, but I really like this song. I think it's really relatable too. I think everyone. I've definitely been through times before where I do not maybe not feel alienated, but I just don't feel like I have a place, and there's nothing that's really interesting me. And I guess it's just depression, isn't it, in a sense? But where you're just not feeling it, and nothing seems to be grabbing your attention or grabbing your passions, or making you passionate. Sorry. And this is what this line's about. Sometimes I feel very sad, and in the background you got can't find nothing, put my heart and soul into. That is terrible. That's not how it sounds at all. Put my heart and soul into. I think it's like that, but yeah, it's just a really big song, isn't it? It's about a big thing that I think a lot of people feel sometimes a little bit alienated, a little bit out of place, and not finding anything that's given them any happiness or passion or life. It might sound a bit silly right now, but like this thing I'm doing now, these tier lists, it's a very simple concept, and it is giving me something to put my time and energy into, and I feel I'm having a lot of fun with it. I feel like hopefully people will get watching it, and I can actually build some sort of little community around it, because I love talking about music, and if I can talk about music with you guys as well, if you're there, is anyone there? If I can talk to you guys about it, it'll be fun, and it'll build a little community that I can enjoy. I used to love doing music and making music, and it's not that I don't still love it now. I just not inspired in a way to do it. I just work too much, and I'm just on the grind. Money issues all the time. I'm a miser. We've talked about this. It's the cost of living so high. I've got other things on my mind, and I don't particularly want to be singing or writing songs about them anyway. I kind of want to put it in the back seat for now and just work on it. But this is something that's kind of easily accessible. It's something that is quite simple to make. All I need to do is sit down, do a bit of research, listen to music, which I'm quite happy to do, and then I can talk about it. So this is the kind of thing that maybe this song is kind of talking about. Just finding something that you can put your time and passion into, your heart and soul into, and find a kind of purpose. Not to say this is my purpose in life, but this is certainly something that I enjoy doing, and it's given me sort of a new lease on things. It's making me feel like I'm doing something productive and something fun. And something I'm passionate about. And we were talking before about how passionate I was about which song was it before the I'm Waiting for the Day. That got me so excited and giddy talking about that song, and you don't get that feeling often, and when you can find things that give you that feeling, you got to follow it and you got to run with it. So yeah, I think that's what that song's about. It's very, very, very deep conversation with you, very personal conversation with you. I'm sorry, I don't want to gush. But yeah, the song's great, isn't it? I guess I just wasn't made for these times. And I think when I first heard that, I thought it was a song about music, and that maybe he was feeling that the music in the charts wasn't that good. But I thought that was a silly thing, because obviously the music in the 60s actually was incredible. But I when I first heard it, I thought it was about something like that, because the music now is shit. You got Skepta going around with whatever that song was before. Oh, God, man, I used to wear Gucci. I don't even wear it anymore. I wear other stuff now. It's a lyrical genius. Alright, we're near the end now. Pet Sounds is an instrumental. Like the other instrumental. Pet Sounds. I'd actually put it at the bottom filler. No, it's a good instrumental, isn't it? Look, again, I'm not going to say much about it. I don't really get why you'd pop these instrumentals in there and take away from what's going on with all the other songs. The songs themselves have such great instrumentals. You don't need to take a moment to say, oh, look at this instrumental we've done. just keep going with the songs. And I suppose there is probably a reason for it. And I guess if it was just back-to-back songs with lyrics, that you might find some aren't as good as others. But I don't know. I think I would have preferred that on this album as opposed to just stopping for a minute for a small instrumental. It takes away from the stories and the lyricism that I've come to like really rate about the album. I think I've missed a song here because it's Caroline No at the end. Have I not even spoke about Here Today? No, I have. I just didn't put it in. Or did I not? Let's have a look. Here Today. Yeah, no, I did speak about it. I just didn't put it in. Bam, boom, 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 boom. And today, and it's gone. Doom, 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 do, 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 do. I'll put it there. I think that's okay. I think that makes sense. That's okay, yeah. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Pet Sounds. I mean, I just think the instrumentals take me out of the album. And I don't want to be taken out of it because it's great. And I love listening to it and thinking about what he's saying. You know, we're talking about some of these songs. I'm waiting for the day, Put Your Head on My Shoulder. I keep going to call that Time for Answers. It's called I Know There's an Answer. You know, these are very clever themes, very clever things to talk about and sing about, and then he's just taken away from it by this instrumental that's nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to put him in trash. But yeah, I just don't like being pulled out of it. Caroline Now is the last one. Brian Wilson said in an interview, I think, that he considers this the best song he ever wrote. Which is crazy for me, because I don't even think it's the best song on the album. But, you know, if you know about that, if you know that that's either not true or he said something else or it's about a different song, tell me, because, you know, we don't spread misinformation or propaganda on this channel. But, I mean, it's a good song, isn't it? It's a good song. It's banger. Let's get the lyrics up. Caroline, oh, yeah. Bow, 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 bow. Who took that love away? Yeah, you know the falsetto. Oh, Caroline, you. Do. Not a lot of lyrics actually. Quite a simple, quick song, isn't it? Oh, Caroline, you break my heart. I want to go and cry. Do. I love when the saxophone comes in, you know. And that's nice to hear, just an instrument that's not got the wall of sound nonsense going on around it. They've just gone, hey, that line there. So sad to watch a sweet thing die. And then oh man, the saxophone comes in like wow, and it's really cool. It just really fits. It's really nice, and the solo's good as well because you know it's bread and butter stuff. Again, songwriting stuff is like they didn't want to take the song too far away from what it's doing. The melody's working. It's running back on itself, and it works, and it's nice, and it's got a good feel. So when it gets to the solo. Oh, Caroline, you, and then it goes into doom, 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 doom. I think it's strings, dun 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 dun, and they just do the vocal melody, but with the strings, and simple things. You know, simple songwriting foundation, simple songwriting techniques that just keep the song moving and don't take away from it, don't pull you out of it. You know, because there are songs on this album where they do change direction very abruptly, and it works for the song. This song needs to keep moving. You know, there's a nice sentiment to it and a movement to it, and it just needs to repeat. It wants to repeat the melody of the verse because it's a nice melody and it's one of the pulls. And yeah, it is a great song. I mean, did I put it in the tier list? I think I'll put it above. I think I'll put it here. Yeah, and then at the end you've just got a little soundscape of trains and dogs, which is good. I don't think it's a bad piece of, Sonic. I keep going to say Sonic something, but I don't know what it is. Just to get a great piece of audio, isn't it? It's a good piece of audio. It has something to it anyway. I can, when I listen to that bit of, if you're not aware of it, go listen to the end of Caroline now. But it's just that some dogs that he recorded in like his neighbour's garden or in his garden. I don't know, so that's conjecture again. Man, this channel's just becoming absolute nonsense, just talking shit all the time I don't know about. But I'm sure he recorded some dogs in a garden, or his garden, or for his friend's dog in their garden. And then there were some trains that they recorded on an earlier session for another album that weren't utilised. So you just put them together to make this little soundscape of, what I imagine is when I hear it, it's just this like, dirty fenced area with a train track next to it and the dogs barking and that. And it's, there's an image there for sure. It does build an image, which is very cool. But yeah, what does it mean at the end of the album? I don't really know what it means. It's just there. Much in the same way that Her Majesty was on Abbey Road. Did the Simon and Garfunkel do anything silly like that at the end of theirs? I don't think they did. But yeah, that's that. I mean, great. It's a good song. And it's below Put Your Head on My Shoulder and above I Wasn't Made For These Times. I think that's the right place for it to go. I can't remember what the horn one is. It's the second song on the album. I'm Waiting for the Day? No, You Still Believe in Me. You Still Believe in Me needs to be higher. I'm going to put it higher. I'm going to put it there. Been knocking that down so low. It is a really good song. Actually, no, you know what? It's going up here. I think that's the place for it. It was the one we were saying where it's like the lyrics are so, it makes you want to be on the side of the bad guy. And it's like, it's one of those things that really plays with your emotions and makes you think hard about things. So it's good. Let's do our final synopsis. So, why am I on this page? Right. God Only Knows. What I'd Be Without You is the best song on the album for sure. One of the most recognisable Beatles songs. It's just great, isn't it? I'm Waiting for the Day is amazing. Great idea. Great instrumental as well. I'm waiting for the day when you can love again. How relatable it is really up to the listener, because I how many people have been through something like that, but it's so well explained that you can really take it in. You don't have to have been through it, because Brian Wilson takes you through it. He takes you through those emotions and he explains it to you and puts you in it. Wouldn't it be nice? Great opener, really good song. It kind of opens the album up and says, look, we are doing something very different now, so strap in. Sloop John B, I can't really say much for the lyrics because it's not theirs, but it's a great rendition of a song that's very different originally, a Caribbean folk song, and they've done it really well. Literally just said what this song was, and I can't remember. You Still Believe in Me. Yes, You Still Believe in Me was in banger territory for the whole video, and it deserves to be in slap, so it's going to go there. Really, I think it's just a great song, isn't it? It's a really cool song. Time for Answers, not what it's called. I Know There's an Answer, it's great. I'm going to put it behind Put Your Head on My Shoulder. Sorry, I'm getting a bit lazily now. I think I'm getting a cold. But try and chunk through this last bit so I can blow my nose. But I think that's right. I think it's right to put them like that. Put Your Head on My Shoulder is such a unique take on a song. It might be album defining, but I don't know. I think these songs are better. Just see what it looks like there. No, I'll pop it down here. It's a banger. I'm taking it down one part. It's not putting it in bangers doesn't mean it's shit. It means it's a great song, just not album defining. I Know There's an Answer is a great song. It's really, it's one of the best instrumentals I think on the album. So much energy to it, so much fun. Um, Carolina, really love it. I think that's great. That's great, perfectly in central banger. I Wasn't Made for These Times. Really sad song about alienation and not feeling your place in the world. You know, we had a little bit of a deep chat about that before. You know, it made me feel something. It does make you feel something. So maybe no, I'll leave it where it is. And tomorrow it's gone. Is it? Wait, no. What's this one? This one's Here Today. Yeah, I like it. It's a great song, isn't it? Again, it's a step away from hollow sentiments towards women and cars and money, and you know, it's just did really solid writing on this. Tony Asher, man, I really ought to know how much Tony Asher did on these albums, on the lyrics, towards the lyrics. Sorry, because it is such a profound step away from what they were doing earlier that it feels like something was going on and someone else was there, you know. And I wonder whether Tony Asher was really likes the sort of the guide and light towards getting these lyrics as good as they are. That's Not Me is good, but it's just not as good as the rest. It's like the I want to say this. I don't want to be mean. You know, I just don't want to be mean. It's not trash, none of these are trash either. So it's just not as good lyrically as some of the other ones, I think. And then you got the two instrumentals, which we went over. It's just not pulls me out of the lyrics, pulls me out of these songs about things. And I think this is one of the album's strengths, is that the things that Brian Wilson's writing about and Tony Asher are writing about are so in tune with each other, and so really thought out and profound. And like I said before, bear in mind he's 23. Brian Wilson is 23 when he's doing it. Bob Dylan was 22, I think, when he wrote what's it called? When he wrote Blowing in the Wind. Bob Dylan was 22 when he wrote Blowing in the Wind, which is one of the most recognisable, one of the most poignant folk songs about love, loss, war, you know, just everything. And Brian Wilson was 23 when he wrote Pet Sounds. So, you know, young bucks really doing it. You know, I'm 29 now. I'm nearly 30. I'm past it. There's no way I'm going to be writing anything genre defining or groundbreaking now. But you know, it's good to see these guys making such good music at such a young age. You know, so ahead of their time. Amazing. But yeah, the two instrumentals at the end, they just kind of pulled me out of the lyrics, pulled me out of the storytelling, and what I like most about this album is the storytelling. I wish the songs weren't so similar in timbre and not instrumentation, production and timbre, because I haven't spoke a lot about the instrumentation on this because the Wall of Sound kind of hides it from me, and that's maybe the takeaway that's bad about the Wall of Sound, is that you can't distinguish these different things from each other. But at the same time, if you go now and listen to this album in headphones, you are going to have some very interesting sounds in your ears, and you're going to love every minute of it. Even these instrumentals, very interesting. I just really like the lyrics on the album. And that's it. That's the end of this one. It's actually longer than the Beatles one now. Literally, as I said that sentence, the Beatles one's 1:13:13. I'm on 1:13:20 now, which I didn't expect. I thought this might drop around the same length as the Bridge Over Troubled Water one, around 55 minutes. But yeah, I told you there was a lot to unpack at the start. We're having a good time, and I bought a Lucozade. I didn't even have one sip. I'm gonna have one sip now. I won't deny you the sound of me drinking my Lucozade. What's next? I want to do White Album next. I really enjoyed doing the Abbey Road one because there was a lot of different stuff going on, and if there's a lot of we're talking about Abbey Road having a lot of different stuff going on, the White Album has a lot of different stuff going on. It is it's an album of 4 halves, of 4 quarters. It's in four sides, and there is some belters. Belters. Maybe I should change banger to belter. No, because belter would be like more, you know, that belting it out. Banger is a better, more generic term. But there are some absolute slaps on the White Album. There's some pretty heavy trash on there, you know. whispers of Ringo in the background. And John. I mean, John has some absolute shite on that. But yeah, and then we'll do that. We'll do that. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. Tell me what your opinions are. These pictures are so badly chosen, not respective of what they should actually say. But if you disagree with anywhere that I've put these things, tell me. If you think something should be higher up, if you think that's not me, should be in slaps. Again, I wouldn't disagree with you. I wouldn't disagree because it's a great song, and if it was on another album, maybe it'd be in a slaps, and it would be album defining. But as opposed to or compared to some of the songs on this album, it just doesn't. I'm not going to say it doesn't stand up, but it's not as good. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. This has been the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. Look forward to the White album coming up. I'd try and do that today, maybe. It's a long album, so I might have to listen to it a few times. But, it's not like I've not listened to it before. So I'll listen to it this afternoon, see how I feel. I've got a cold coming on, not enjoying it, and I have to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to go to work. But finish at 3:30 tomorrow, so I'll probably be able to do one of these tier makers tomorrow too. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. As always, see you later. Have a good day.